he's the most hated man in Red Dead Redemption 2. And for good reason, he's an antagonist in our faces at all times, and despite every urge to beat his face in, we just can't. This is a character that we love to hate, Micah Bell. In today's video, we're going to be exploring his backstory, his origins, if you will, to see what moulded him into the twisted ratus that he is. So, please enjoy the origins of Micah Bell. Micah Bell III, the character we know as Micah Bell, was born in 1860 to Micah Bell Jr. Micah had a brother named Amos. Their father was a ruthless outlaw in his own right, and together they had their own small little gang. I hope they called it the Bellends. Micah Bell Jr. appeared to have no problem thrusting his children into the criminal underworld, even working with them. When Micah was 17 years old in 1877, he and his father would commit a brutal double homicide that would place them on the run. In Crawford County, Ohio, the Bells entered the farm of Roscoe and Jean Briggs, slitting the couple's throats and hanging their bodies from the rafters of their hay barn, after allegedly taking on temporary work at the ranch a couple of days prior. Why they murdered the couple is unknown. It could range from a dispute over pay or an outright premeditated attack in order to commit robbery. However, regardless, by the age of 17, Micah Bell was already a ruthless killer, and his father, who was also a murderous outlaw, did little but enable it. From a newspaper scrap that can be found at Micah's camp during a Chapter 2 mission, we can infer that Micah Bell's partner in crime was his father throughout his upbringing, though Micah also ran with his brother Amos from time to time. It's unclear if he was a part of his father and brother's crime spree. All we get is this letter, which we can find during Chapter 4 at Shady Belle. San Francisco, California, 1899. Micah, thank you for your letter. I suppose I'm glad that you ain't been hanged yet, but I am gonna have to insist upon you the fact that if I see you, won't be no one needs to hang you, as I will break your neck. It ain't that I don't love you, because I do, what with you being my family and all that we done together, but it's that I am now a family man, as you know. I have daughters, as you know. I swore to the Lord Almighty that I would protect my daughters from all that is evil and wrong in this world, if only he would help me repent of all that I done when we was running together, as you know. And that means repenting of you, as you know, and washing my hands of you. Do not attempt to approach me, do not attempt to visit me. Do not claim you know me. If I hear you are within 50 miles of me, I will come and find you, and then you'll meet your maker and apologise to him on both our behalves for them things we did. None of this should come to you as news. I was shocked to receive your letter. Do not write to me again. Your brother, Amos Bell. It's clear that by 1899, Micah Bell and his brother Amos had a falling out. Amos put his criminal life behind him and moved on, starting a family in California, doing his very best to right his wrongs. He didn't learn to write particularly fluently, but that's not a problem. Whereas Micah Bell III clung to his outlaw lifestyle. It's all he knows, why would he change? It's also implied that the Bell family was far from loving of Amos. At one point, apparently, Micah Bell Jr. almost killed his own son. By 1899, Micah came to hold disdain for Amos Bell, stating that he despises both Amos and his wife. Micah refers to his younger brother as a spineless version of him, but in reality Amos just wanted to break the mold of bringing children into a line of bad men. But how bad were the Bells? Well, apparently, Micah Bell Jr. was once wanted for murder in 5 counties. Anyway, it's possible that Amos went his own way after Micah Bell Jr.'s passing. At some point later on during his criminal career, Micah Bell III became friends with 2 outlaws named Cleet and Joe, likely riding together and running the odd job here and there. At some other point, Micah was involved in a failed bank robbery with a man named Norman, who would eventually start his own family in Strawberry, and Micah would come and kill him and his wife during the events of Red Dead Redemption 2. This brings us up to 1898, where Micah met Dutch van der Linde. Micah and Dutch met in a bar in a town named Crenshaw Hills in the Grizzlies. Dutch was attempting to sell gold that his gang had recently stolen, but the deal was going sour, leading to an altercation in which Micah stepped in and saved the life of the infamous outlaw Dutch van der Linde. As a consequence, Micah would be accepted by Dutch into the van der Linde gang. However, despite being an experienced combatant and arguably an asset to any criminal organisation, Micah was generally disliked within the van der Linde gang. Arthur and Hosea in particular saw him to be an argumentative, reckless, hot-headed fool. He only appeared to have respect for Dutch, and he tolerated everybody else, at times mocking them or antagonising them outright. Micah was wild, unpredictable, and prone to fits of violence. However, they weren't the crazy kind, they were the cold, evil kind, who would often find himself placing the gang in difficult predicaments, not that he noticed or even cared. In fact, the Blackwater ferry job that went so wrong it marked the beginning of the downfall for the van der Linde gang was his idea. Micah didn't care who he needed to kill to achieve his objectives, and despite the facade he poorly plays attempting to fit in with the gang, his loyalty was only ever to himself. He cared little for those who couldn't fight, the women, or even little Jack, and believed that Dutch attracted fools like shit attracts flies. And yet, for some reason, Dutch, and only Dutch, vouched for Micah. Even his brother implies that he is evil, and it's the gang's collective inability to notice just how dangerous Micah Bell truly was that helped spell out their downfall. Well, that brings us nicely to the end of yet another Red Dead Redemption 2 character origins video. Thank you all for watching, I really hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that would be awesome. And be sure to go ahead and hit subscribe over on Decades if you like history, if not, no problem. I'm blown away by the growth we're seeing over there, so thank you so much if you've already hit subscribe. And remember, if you see a wild Micah Bell in your travels, throw a Molotov in his general direction and hope for the best. Anyway, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, but until next time, please do take care, and goodbye.